education in my Minecraft? It's more likely than you think. This is a free-to-play thing in the Minecraft Bedrock Edition Marketplace, and it's essentially a conservation quest. We have a conservation park, different things to do, and we've got to learn so that we can be a conservation agent someday. Welcome to the school. From here you can fast travel, ring the bell. Okay, yes, sir. Oh, so there's different quests and stuff. Conservation code, very informative. Oh, this is so silly. Woodland Way. Welcome to Woodland Way Adventure. It's called Deer Park because of the deer that live there amongst the many ancient trees. Alright, let's go on our woodland adventure. Trees are important because they provide habitat for various insects, plants, and animals. They are great at improving the air quality, which benefits every living thing. Windsor Great Park has the largest collection of old trees remaining in Western Europe. These trees are not only of historic interest, but also a valuable part of our cultural heritage. These oak trees would have been part of William the Conqueror's ancient hunting forest where he chased wild stags on horseback. Fun fact, a lot of conservation actually has to do with hunting, especially for bird conservation. A lot of species we only protected because people wanted to hunt them. I need your help. A mischievous pixie is breaking the fence. One non-scientific minigame later. Great job, you saved the saplings! You're truly on your way to becoming a great conservationist. My name is Lyndon. I'm the forester. Welcome to the old woods. It's home to many wise old oaks. The ancient trees support many animals and insects. Every year, I take a biodiversity inventory to give to the great tree that grows at the center of the woods. Will you help me track how well nature is doing in Deer Park? I love biodiversity surveys. They're one of my favorite things to do as a scientist. There are insects, birds, bugs, mammals, and flowers here. See how many species you can find to collect their biodiversity tokens. Okay, so let's find those species. So what is a biodiversity survey, you may ask? Well, you basically go around and try to categorize and find everything. I guess these don't count. But usually you would have like a specific area and then you choose little subsections of that area so that it's more manageable and you count every single living thing in that area. To look at birds in a biodiversity survey, one of the ways to do it is have a couple people walk in straight lines a certain amount of distance apart, and each of them, as they're walking, catalogs any single bird they see. By everyone walking at the same time and in a straight line, you can get a pretty good idea of what species are living in the area. Tawny owl. I prefer to live in broad-leaved woodland. I eat small mammals, rodents, small birds, frogs, fish, insects, and worms. Dottie, I think you better get out of here. Yeah, this is gonna end poorly. Dottie's gonna get eaten. Maybe I'll eat Dottie. That I think would be fun. A great spotted woodpecker. I prefer to live in woodlands, especially with mature broadleaf trees, although I sometimes live in large parks. I eat insects, seeds, and nuts. Once again, Dottie? Yeah, you better scram. You're gonna get eaten. Little guy, little badger. Oh my gosh, I love the models they made for this. What a cute little guy. I live in large family groups and burrows under the ground called a set. I eat small mammals, birds' eggs, worms, fruit, and plants. Thank you, Mr. Badger, for that information. Hello! I am a very small nocturnal mammal. This means I hunt at night. I eat midges, moths, and other flying insects that I find in the dark by using echolocation sound to find my food. Bats are one of my biggest fears, actually, because of rabies. So we're gonna be the ones to run this time. Dottie, you lead the way. Let's get out of here. I don't want the bat to bite me if it has rabies. I mean, not all bats have rabies, but to me, rabies is one of the most terrifying things that can happen. Tetanus is my other big fear. A heart moth. I prefer to live in mature oak trees. Their leaves feed me while I'm a caterpillar. Ooh, what is this? Ooh, a stag beetle. Love these guys from Animal Crossing and real life too. I prefer to live in oak woodlands. My larvae depend on old trees and rotting wood to live in and feed on. They can take up to 6 years to develop before they pupate and turn into adults. Yes, beetles pupate too. A garden spider. You can find me in gardens, but I also like to live in woodlands and grasslands. I spin my web to catch flying insects, which I eat. Nice to meet you. Ooh, a dog violet, a moving plant. I like to grow in woods, heaths, hedgerows and grasslands. I'm an important food source for many rare butterflies. Lots of fritillaries. They just flitter about. Another flower. Native bluebell. I prefer to grow in ancient woodland. If you see me, that is a clue that the woods you're in are very old. Ooh. Hello, Dottie. I have an idea. Why don't you jump on your back and I'll fly us to the tree? I'm going to squish Dottie. This is going to be great. This is so silly. Yeah, that's a strong dragonfly. We've got the owl, the woodpecker, the badger, the bat, the moth, the stag beetle, the not worm, not snake, but lizard. Haven't seen those since the Carboniferous. Yeah. We need more giant bugs these days. I'm going to be sorely disappointed if the people doing things like revive the mammoth or whatever. Can you please revive the giant dragonflies and other weird bugs? I want giant bugs. Oh, hello, human. Thank you for completing the annual biodiversity inventory. I must keep track of these things to know how healthy my woodland is. Here's your certificate for completing the Woodland Way. Congratulations, Woodland Way complete. Whee! What you don't see is me breaking my legs, being carted to the ER, and then being dropped back off here. Hello there, I am the hydrologist. My name is Estella. I am a water sprite. I live in clean, freshwater habitats. Water is a vital part of the park. It is a precious resource for the plants, animals, and people who live in, work in, and visit the area. The cleaner the water, the longer the food chain, so we must follow the conservationist code and avoid pollution from chemicals and litter. By leaving nothing but our footprints and taking nothing with us but memories, we can help keep the park healthy and happy. Over 2/3 of Earth are covered in water, but have you ever wondered where it's from? Did you know that the water never leaves Earth? Where would the water go? Sorry. Yes, the water evaporates into space and then it comes back down when the sun decides it should. Yes, a yap every 10 steps. A nice yap, but it is a yap every 10 steps. It just moves around from streams, rivers, lakes, and oceans to clouds and rain and back again. This is the water cycle. Ah, yes, the classic water cycle. My third grade enemy. When the sun shines, water becomes a gas known as water vapor. Evaporation. Hey, there's more Dotties! You're replaceable! Let's go! Hello! Press the evaporation button to experience the water cycle for yourself. Well, we're dying. We're going up. We're going up to the great beyond. You know, I wouldn't have thought we'd be going up. I would have thought we'd be going down. But I'll take this. A great thing about condensation or condensing is you never know where you'll end up. Come back as a puddle wasn't very fun last time. Hope the wind blows me somewhere more exciting, like a lake. I'm so cool, I'm condensing. I've been rain before, and once I was even sleet. I quite fancy trying out snow this time. It looks fun, floating around, being a snowflake. Okay, so it looks... Okay, it's... Do not move the camera when it's doing a cutscene. I have learned that. And I'm ready to condense and choose. Ah, yes. Water, snow, or sleet. What a filthy sleet. We don't sleet shame here. Yeah, no sleet shaming. We're becoming hail. It's the violence. We need to have the violence. How do I go down? Please. Please let me become... Let me go down. I don't want to be up here anymore. Maybe the red arrow that's making a lot of visual, you know, motions. Maybe I should be going towards it. Perhaps the game is telling me what to do. Who would have thought that the game is telling me what to do? Not me. Buffy the Toad. Thanks for dropping in. I'm Buffy, the ecologist. Welcome to Cow Pond. Would you like some lunch? Unless, of course, you are lunch. Okay, where's our dragonfly? In Cow Pond, I'm afraid it's either eat or be eaten, but this natural balance makes it a splendid place to live. Let's go the food chain, and you can see where you fit on the menu. Fascinating. Yes, the food chain. The way they teach you before you learn about the magics of the food web. I do love a good food chain. They're very nice and simple because everything's just one-way direction rather than the food web where it's just chaos. Meet the production community. Plants make their own food using sunlight, water, and something called chlorophyll, which gives plants their green color. The leaves of plants are little factories that capture sunlight and mix it with water. This special mixture helps plants turn carbon dioxide into energy. Is it not slightly messed up that we're about to chat with the plants who are going to become dinner? Hello, willow moss. Good at absorbing heavy metals, nitrates, and other nutrients from the water, make it healthier and happier for everything that lives there. The stems provide refuge for spawning fish, newts, dragonflies, and other aquatic wildlife. You help balance the amount of oxygen in the water by releasing oxygen through photosynthesis, so light energy to chlorophyll to change the water and carbon dioxide into oxygen and glucose. Use some of the glucose for food and store the rest for later, and pass the oxygen back into the water. They're not just good for being moss to be eaten, but they're good habitats for other things. Don't you like some hot political chats just before you eat your vegans? You know what? That is a good point. I do prefer to chat with my food. My name is Milfoil. I have a delicate constitution. I cannot stand pollution of any description. I live at the surface so the sun can reach and feed me. I see that there's a button. Uh-oh. The bugs are coming. They're gonna eat the plants. Well, we're not gonna watch the massacre happen. Just in time. Ooh, I need to prepare dishes. Look at the order, click it. Yeah, I can figure it out. Pond snail. Got any algae, buddy? Oh, right, 4 plates. Okay, maybe I should actually read things. Nah, I'm not reading. Who wants bugs? Do you want bugs? You are a pond fish. You might like bugs. Foundation of the aquatic food web sounds good. Perhaps I should have read the directions instead of saying, I don't need to read. And maybe this would have gone a little bit smoother. But if it's something aimed at kids, you should be pretty loose in the amount of directions they have to read, because children will not read directions. Order up. Order up. Order up. Order up. Okay, all the orders were correct. Aquatic adventure, so far to me, I'd say it's a 1 out of 5. Conservation code. This is interesting because I'm curious how this actually relates to what I know as the morals you're supposed to abide by when you're doing conservation work. Hello, young designer. Today you're going to learn about making eye-catching posters that spread an important message. I noticed you were a little bit absent, Dottie, in the last one. You didn't want to get eaten? But Buffy the Toad has to improve that score, though, and that's why it's 1 out of 5. Buffy the Toad is fantastic. Let's learn about the title and subtitle. Title should be big and clear. How you feeling there, buddies? NPCs, how are you doing? This is horrifying. We are one with the mob. We are one with the blob. There we go. Hello, designer Dave. Step into the raised area, select elements by clicking the buttons, make a poster and display, and you can get a teacher to print a copy. Guys, I'm excited for this one, unironically. Oh, this is gonna be so funny. Well, we completed it. So this one I would say is 3 out of 5. I like the idea of getting the more art-oriented kids involved in this, because they don't care as much about the science if they're not into it. But I think it could have been done a little better, but it was still pretty cute, you know, just a short little arts and crafts project. They didn't want you to design anything, they wanted you to look at their 3 slogans, which I didn't read. Oh well, it's basically respect nature, protect it, and try to make informed choices about it. Meadow Quest. Ooh, agriculture and conservation. They are both hand in hand and very conflicting. Grasslands like this meadow are very important to bees, butterflies, and other pollinators. Pollinators land on the flowers to feed, and pollen becomes attached to their body. They can carry the pollen with them when they move to a new flower. Is the entomologist studying bees or made of bees? He vibrates intensely, for he does not know. Why not both? This is called pollination. It is a very important part of the life cycle of plants as it helps them make seeds and reproduce. Insects, birds, bats, and even the winds take pollen between different flowering plants. Without pollinators, the flowers, trees, and other plants would die. So, you see, without me, there would be no strawberries for your picnic and no apples for the trees. Without wildflowers, there would be no food for me, and that is a threat. I'm sure you've had enough of me buzzing about pollinators. Farmer Francis over there wants a word. He's quite clever. He's outstanding at... I'm gonna squish it. I'm gonna squish it. I'm gonna squish this bee. Farmer Francis. Welcome to the meadows. I look after a herd of English longhorn cattle. My job is to rotate the grazing on the fields to keep the meadows healthy with plenty of flowers in the summer. To do this, I move the cows and make the hay. A healthy meadow is good for the soil and storing carbon. True. This makes the meadow more fertile, meaning a healthier diet for the animals grazing in it. It also helps reduce harmful global emissions into the atmosphere. So it's not just the cattle I care about. By working together in this way, we can help improve biodiversity. Okay. It is true that having better management of agricultural sites can be better for storing carbon. However, a major contributor of carbon, but also climate change related gases, is farming animals. A lot of times it's cows. They're probably one of the worst for like methane. So I would say so far, I mean, yes, it is better. It is much better than normal farm. If you're doing things like rotating crops, adding flowers for biodiversity, all that stuff, that I think should have been mentioned. Biodiversity is all the different kinds of life you'll find in one area. Animals, plants, fungi, and even microorganisms like bacteria. Everything is interconnected or dependent on everything else. True. Join me in the meadow. I need some help moving my cows. Before we sow the seeds, we move the herd. Lead the cows to the next field by holding wheat in your hand. When it's empty, throw the seed bombs in the air and watch an amazing wildflower meadow explode. Oh yeah. Makes sense. Okay, cows, let's go. Get your butt over here. Yep. Go through. Come on, cows. Okay, now it's working. There we go. Ha! Grow lots of thistle. Exactly. And see, as the flowers come back, the bees come back too. This is actually a legitimate practice with farming, is if the farm field isn't being used or they want to refresh the soil, they will grow flowers. And honestly, I love it. It is a good way to keep things a bit more environmentally friendly. Because, you know, we do need to eat. We do need to have agriculture, and large-scale agriculture at that. So doing it in a nature-friendly way is great. We did it. Thank you for helping me reseed our wonderful wild meadow. As a token of my gratitude, please accept this certificate. Ding! We got them all. Certificates of completion. We completed the Woodland Way, the Aquatic Adventure, Conservation Code, and Meadow Quest. I think Woodland Way, 5 out of 5. Aquatic Adventure, 1 out of 5, only because of the frog. Conservation Code, 3 out of 5. Gotta engage the non-science students. Meadow Quest, I'd say 4 out of 5. I just wish they mentioned something about maybe agriculture. We're trying to make it as good for the planet as possible because there are some negatives to it. But overall, we do need it, and we need it to be as good as possible. Freedom, yeehaw. Conservation Award. I don't know what we're doing. Clap for me, NPCs. Applaud my work. Hello, old man. Your journey through cascading waters, ancient woods, and playful gardens and vibrant meadows has shown your unwavering commitment to nature's marvels. From delving into the food chain, learning the water cycle, embracing the conservation code with woodland sprites, and sowing the future of wildflower fairies, your passion has shone brightly. In honor of your dedication and the wisdom you've gained, I bestow upon you the Conservation Award. Conservation Award! Yay, we completed Conservation Quest at the Great Windsor Park! Give me the award. Gimme. As an educator, college level, so very different than this, but as someone who does also do outreach, I would recommend this. My complaints are more just being picky rather than actually disliking it. I think this is a cute approach to teaching conservation to kids because it's Minecraft. All kids like Minecraft. I mean, I think they do still. I don't think Roblox has taken over that much.